You're listening to The Shake Up, your number one mobile morning show.
Hi, this is Bernice A. King, and you're listening to The Shake Up on Boss FM.
Hey, this is Chris from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm checking in with The Shake Up on Boss FM, the hashtag.
You're listening to The Shake Up, your number one mobile morning show.
It is The Shake Up, Alex the Great.
Yours truly, MJ.
TK and Cash 3 times in a row, and it's time to jump in to this discussion. Here's the basics, all right? If you want to get us a comment, you can't get through the line, you can tweet us at the Shake Up AM, hashtag Black Masculinity.
You can also comment on one of our posts on Instagram at the Shake Up AM or at Makia Jeter or at Alex Unmuted.
Yep. Of course, lock in the number. We gonna say something that strikes a chord. 1-844-997-4253.
All right, so I think the whole thing of this topic came from a photo that was revealed of Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. They did a shoot for Vanity Fair, and I guess it's the pose or the way they took the picture that had everybody up in arms about, honestly, like, what the hell was going on.
Do you really
in the
think
picture.
this is where it started, though?
I don't think this is where it started.
Picture?
I think this is what stemmed this conversation. This is what stemmed this conversation because a lot of people, they had a lot to say about it. It's like they had something to say about it, and they came from where, like, they were saying, oh, this has been going on. Like, this is... Basically, they were saying, like, this is what I be talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. Like, this.
So the
right
picture
here.
we're talking about was the one with Michael B. Jordan and
Ryan Coogler.
So this picture surfaced this week. Welcome. Good morning. Ghetto in here, y'all. We got people joining the conversation. 3, 4. All right. This picture surfaced. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about it. And the fact that they were in some ways showing affection in the picture. Michael had his hand on his head. Ryan was seemingly leaning on his shoulder. And this was a cause for concern for some people. And so it opened the conversation on what is this a masculine photo? Is masculinity a thing still in our communities? Is this okay? Or is this a nah bruh moment? Is this a hell nah? Hell nah, we shouldn't see this. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't look like this. What the hell? And I think there are comments on both sides. I've read some of the comments, gotten some of the emails. We talked about it in here.
Yeah.
And I think people have started to have this conversation in many ways. And it started with plenty of people. I mean, people used to question. I think back to, I first remember people questioning things heavily when I used to watch Dennis Rodman play on the Chicago Bulls. And he was like,
I was young. I automatically thought Dennis Rodman was gay. I was a child. That's
just because of who he was.
Yes, and because of his demeanor, how he carried himself, that's what I seen as a child. He had this color hair. He wore earrings. He was just.
What brought you out of the mind? What brought you out of that mindset, though?
I grew up. As a child.
So
I had childish thoughts.
Okay.
But I don't know about Dennis Rodman. Maybe he's like metrosexual. But he's a good example.
Even if he was metrosexual, homosexual, could he still be masculine?
That's a good question.
Or is he not masculine because of...
I think that some people, that's the thing. Some people look at masculinity in different ways. To someone, he may be, to some female, or... to someone, I was about to say, to someone, he may be masculine.
I'm a chime in right there.
I don't.
First, I'm gonna say thank
Go
you.
ahead. Wait,
Good
first,
morning.
first introduce yourself, man.
Right, who are you, sir?
Right, it's Malik. From Philadelphia.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. The invite.
No
Definitely
problem.
Had to come through for you. Just from the invite, my kid. But just the topic alone is very important to me, being a black man. Is that a thing? Is black masculinity a topic now? And I believe so, and it's very important,
Mm-hmm.
But y'all was speaking on, can he be, I would say, can you divide the two and have, masculinity and your sexuality? Yes, you can. It's two different things, You can be a homosexual and still be masculine, so, people that's offended, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not nowhere near a
Why do you think
homophobe.
people think that's not the case?
I was about to say, I
do
think people automatically look at a man being homosexual as not masculine.
I can't speak for them, but I guess when you're homosexual, they probably immediately, see images of the flamboyant, homosexual. Not all homosexuals is like that, you know what I mean? I've met a few men, you know what I mean, that taught me a lot, you know what I mean? Like even family members, they could teach you more of how to become a man than some straight men can out here. So, that's still being masculine, but they are homosexual. So I can't speak for them why, I guess it's just the stereotypes, the negative stereotypes of being a homosexual.
Do you think those stereotypes are more in the black community?
I don't know.
The
difference, but I know it's definitely in the black community. It becomes a problem. I can't speak on any other community, but any other race. But my race, yeah. Once you become that's why a lot of people, stay in the closet because they don't want to be looked at as, being feminine. You know what I mean? So they just, I guess, stay in the closet. But you know what I mean?
I mean, so because there is a negative connotation in a lot of ways in the black community. Maybe we don't attribute a gay man to being masculine, but is it because of the images that we see? And there's a lot of speculation that people feed us those images. Those aren't the only images, or that's not the only people out there.
When they think of a gay man, honestly, 9 times out of 10, the automatic thought in somebody's brain is they somebody who just talk with this. Y'all know what they think. They switch their hips and they extra, and they're like, when they think of a gay man, they don't think of just a man, like a masculine man, as being a gay man.
100%.
And if they think that if they are masculine, they automatically think that they're down low. Yeah. A masculine man cannot be down low. He could just be gay, and he's not the flamboyant extra gay man that everybody thinks of when they automatically think of a gay man.
You're 100% right. You know what I mean? I don't know too much as why. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I know that it's real out here now. The effeminization of the black man. I think it's real. That's one of the biggest reasons why I came up today.
That's a good thing. I want to talk about that before we talk about the feminization of the black man and how that has seemingly taken over our community in some ways, at least from some perspectives. We're going to define masculinity. We first have a call. Good morning. This is the ShakeUp. Who's this?
Yeah, peace, King. This is Joe from the Ville. Peace,
Hey,
Queen.
What's up?
going on?
Ain't
Peace,
nothing.
King.
So, are we talking about the Michael D. Picture?
Well, that kind of prompted this conversation.
So, all right, here go my thing. Right, raising a young black king, I feel like we are over masculine in the black community, and we the only community that does that. Little black boys, the first thing that we want to teach our little black boys as fathers is how to fight. We want to. The question that you get asked as a black father is, what if your son grows up gay? Like, growing up to be gay is the worst thing on the earth. Not what if he's a serial killer, what if he's a child pedophile. No, what if he grows up to be gay? So I feel like the whole over masculine young black boys, it all goes back to self-hatred, and we're the only race that's doing that. Like, you don't see little white boys having. If you're a little black boy, you got to know how to fight. If not, then you're a punk. You're a sissy. So we putting toughness over knowledge. We're not saying how smart you are as a little black boy. No, how well can you play sports? How well can you catch a football?
Are those the only thing that, well, from the perspective of society, those may be the only things that make black men
masculinity.
Right.
That's what we as a society think, because that's what society has led us to think. Like, that's what defines your masculinity as a boy.
Yeah, but see, and that's the dangerous part, because that's where you get all the killings in Chicago, and that's where you get all the gang violence, because we're not showing value within ourselves. We're not showing little black boys love. We're not showing little black boys that, you know, when you see another little black boy and he's your friend, it's okay. It's okay to give him a hug. And whenever I leave my partners, and, you know, it's a new trend now, you get a dap and then you bring it in for the hug. I love it. And when I leave my homies, I tell them, "Look, I love you." But as a black man, you can't do that, because as a black man, if you tell another black man, "I love you," is, you know, we're so homophobic in the black community. But the truth is, if I don't tell my brother I love him, who's gonna tell him? The police trying to kill him. Is gang violence around the corner waiting for him? So who's gonna tell him? If I don't tell him his word, who's gonna tell him? And I just feel like the whole over masculine black men is contributing to the violence. It's contributing to us not finding self-worth or self-value in each other. Because I mean, if I teach how to, I teach how to fight each other, but I don't teach you how to love each other. That, I think it's crazy.
I'm gonna chime in on that, man. I agree with you. Balance is important. I think that's a real thing too. Being over masculine, you know what I mean. It leads to aggression, and you know what I mean. When you don't know how to handle your aggression, it comes out. That's how you mentioned the gang violence in Chicago and all the major cities. That's true. But I don't think it's because they're over masculine. I think it's because of the lack of the black man in the community alone. Most of them kids that's out there in Chicago, they killing because they was never taught how to be a man. You know what I mean? That leads back to black masculinity, because there's an absence, there's a void of the black man in the community and even in the family. So it's so common to hear somebody go to Chicago and ask them where they father at. They probably tell you locked up, he not around. So that leads to him, he's trying to be a man, and his only way is to, show aggression or to, end up being over masculine. But I don't think it's because that's actually what he's trying to do. I think that leads back to, men being men and raising men. So
true.
You got a
but
son, I got a son
at the
too.
same time, I'm sorry. Were you?
I was just saying.
At the same time, when you said something, you said no homo, or you said I can't tell you about because I'm not homosexual. Why, as a black male, to speak on a situation, why do I have to put up front that I'm not homosexual? Like, why is that so? We're the only, because it's other communities that don't have fathers. Let's not, we're so quick to think that the black community is the only community without fathers. There's so other communities without fathers, right?
No, I think you posed some really good questions and some good points. I think looking at the definition of masculinity, it's the possession of the qualities traditionally associated with men. And so traditionally
that word is who's to say what's traditional
and what tradition is in our community versus another. Exactly. But who's also to say that traditions can't change?
True.
So and I would assume that in the next 20 years, what we do would be considered tradition to some people. So I think if we don't start to get in front of that, and I definitely appreciate your call. We've got to keep talking to this thing. We have to make it a point to have the conversation, because there's a lot of misunderstandings. A lot of people are wondering, why every time I see a black man, his sexuality is always called into question if he's not doing something that's pseudo masculine. or pseudo masculine to the world. So what is your take on that, MJ? When you see somebody, like you said, you assume that you saw. Who did I say? Dennis Rodman.
That's when
you saw him
when
and
I
you
was
thought,
young. That's exact. I guess.
Were you taught that, or what?
That's what I'm trying to
what
think
made
about
you?
now. I honestly don't know. When I think back, when I was young and I thought that about Dennis Rodman, I honestly can't tell you. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe that is what I was taught. Maybe that's what, and not. I don't mean even taught by my parents. Maybe that's what society taught me. So that's what I automatically thought about. Like, oh, Dennis Rodman's gay.
Yep.
That was just my premature thoughts as a child. You got another caller?
Yeah, we got another caller. Caller, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Lady T from the Weekend Shake Up.
Good morning, Lady T.
Good morning.
Good morning. So I just wanted to comment. First of all, I was listening to y'all, and what y'all said about Dennis Rodman, I just wanted to say that Dennis Rodman was more like androgynous. And this picture, we're not going to go there with Michael B. Jordan. We're not going to do that. With Michael Coogler and
okay, so
Michael B. Jordan.
It's fair for you to come in and say that this picture of Dennis Rodman was more like androgynous, but a 5-year-old doesn't know what that is. So a 5-year-old that's learning about himself or learning about masculinity, or his dad's trying to teach him what masculinity is it to say, don't be gay and you'll be masculine? Or is it throw a football, you'll be masculine? Or what is it that what's the understanding of this in our community?
How does the father explain to a child when he sees all of these other men and they're masculine, they don't look like Dennis Rodman, they look like other masculine men, and you see Dennis Rodman, how does a man explain that to his child? Like, okay, Daddy, is this okay?
I think the man should explain that to his child by saying, I think I would explain that to my child by saying he's more of a free spirit. He's different. He's what you call androgynous. I wouldn't see me. I'm the type of person. If I had children, I would explain that word to my child. Androgynous means, somebody who could pull off the look of both sex. Somebody who is open and has a free spirit. Somebody who's not afraid to push barriers.
No, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. But my question is, can you not be androgynous and masculine? Because he's androgynous, does that make him not a masculine person?
I believe that you can be androgynous and masculine.
Are you sure? Are you sure that everybody else sees it like that in our community? Do people see it like that?
When Prince was androgynous, I would say you better not try Prince. And all the women love Prince. They were so in love with him.
Because I have never. I don't know why. Now I'm trying to question. Was it taught? I have never in my life thought that Prince was gay.
What about Lil Richard?
Yeah. See? And my auntie will tell you a story about how Prince pulled her on stage and he danced all around her and she just got so wet in her panties. She will tell you that story 500 times every time she see you, every time you mention Prince.
I get that. We're not talking about androgynous though. We're talking about what Prince does, is that masculine? Could it?
He wears heels. And I still think that man ain't no parts of that man gay. That's what I think. That's just what I don't think.
Yeah, and I don't think.
But wait. And thanks, Lady T. MJ, I want to take what you said, and that's great. You said no parts. I don't think any parts of that man are gay. But if he was gay, could he be masculine? Like, you automatically went back to gay. I don't associate Prince with being gay.
Because
we're not talking about gay. That's not what we're talking about.
How he carries himself is people would automatically, because there's some people, that's just me. Some people do think Prince is homosexual. But I've never thought that. That's what I'm trying to figure out, why in my mind, even when I was younger, I've never thought that about Prince, but I thought that about Dennis Rodman. I don't know if somebody told me something, but I don't know. I've never thought that about him. I don't know who told me or who taught me what.
I heard her say, let's not go for Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
And
what exactly did you? Yeah, I was about to say, what exactly when you first your initial thoughts?
I thought I was uncomfortable with it. I'm gonna say that, to say the least. I was uncomfortable with it.
What made you uncomfortable?
The way he was grabbing his head. That's a little bit too intimate for me. If I was in the studio, the photo studio, and they told me to do that, I would decline. I would say, nah, not because I'm such a homophobe. No, it's like I want to give out images that's masculine. Like if that's my brother, I want to shake his hand.
Why don't you think that image is masculine?
Like I said, it was he the way he's holding his head and he's looking into his face, his eyes. I just don't like the shot. You know, there's plenty other shots that you could have, you know, taken that would have sent off a more.
Do you not think that looks like brotherly love?
No, that doesn't to me. There's other ways to show brotherly love. You know what I mean? I actually went through. Before I commented, I looked at the picture and I read the comments even. You know, and it just seemed like everybody is just defending it because they don't want to see it. They don't want to jump to it. You know what I mean? But if you just be real, that's what I'm gonna give you real first. Me personally, you know, whether you like it or not, I don't like the shot. It's a little bit. If somebody touch, I don't think I've ever been touched like that from a man. You know what I mean? Grab my head, and you know, unless it's my father or you know my little brother, I may grab his head or something like that. But these are two grown men, and you got to think about it too. You got to pay attention to the images that you send out. You know what I mean? They are, you know, superstars.
My thoughts on that. Do you think your perspective would be different if maybe that's the type of love you were shown growing up?
Because you just said unless it was my father or my brother, so it would be okay for that.
Just like if you know you being a woman and your brother or your boyfriend, you know what I mean? It's two different types of relationships. So, you know, you would accept.
That's why I said, does this picture not look like brotherly love? Because you said it's okay from your brother or your father, but I said, well, does this not look like brotherly love? And you said no.
No, like I stand, you know, I stay on the same path when I say it doesn't look like brotherly love coming from two grown men who are not related and they're the same age. But if my father grabbed me, he has a different type of love for me. So that's two different, you know, situations, two different scenarios.
In that aspect, though, if we tell two grown men, and I'm standing in the middle of this conversation, if we tell two grown men that you can't show love like that because you're not related, so don't touch, because people are going to think that it's not right. Is that the reason, or is it because it's just really not right?
I mean, it's I guess it's what I pay attention to. You know, people keep saying whether it's acceptable or not. In some cases, let's just say, you know, give or take, some people might accept it, some people might not. I don't think that's important. It's about the images that they're sending out. Like, why would you send that one? I don't understand that.
Okay. What I need to understand what you mean like that. Why are you sending out that image? Because, okay, to you, that image, you said initially it made you uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But like I said, from the image that I have or the thought that I have, and somebody else might have it too, why doesn't that look like brotherly love? And if it is brotherly love, why wouldn't you want to send out that image?
You know, like I said, all right, I have to go back to if this was the only image, you know, that was pushed out, you know, in representation of the black man, I would be cool. I would just say, you know, some people could take it the wrong way. It's fine. But then you turn on the TV and you see Jaden Smith, you know what I mean? He's the face of a female's clothing line, you know, with Louis Vuitton. So I'm just like, okay. Then you turn on. It seemed like all the
brings me to my next question.
Feminine rappers are the ones that they're pushing. Mm-hmm. So then you turn on Empire. It's just like, are they pushing this agenda? So I look at Michael B. Jordan. You know, I'm from Philadelphia, so Creed. I love that movie. I love how they both working together. Mm-hmm. You know, I support that 100%.
No, 100%. I think
do you think black masculinity is under attack? Because you do.
And I wanted to ask that as well, because that's an interesting perspective. A lot of people are on that side. Some comments for you this morning. Someone says that the issues. Well, I think they're saying your issue is you're trying to appropriate that image with a man grabbing a woman's head for oral sex. That's your perspective, but don't call him out because he received more love than you as a child from your father. It doesn't look like brotherly love to you. My father has pulled me on the back of the head for a hug. Other comments are mentioning people in sports and how they show affection just by touching each other in various parts of the body.
In sports, dudes, y'all
does
hit each other
that demasculate a man from getting slapped on his ass from his
Nothing wrong
teammate.
with that. Good game, bro.
Look, like
Y'all
I said,
hit each other on the ass.
like I said, now listen, the images that you put into these magazines or these blogs is important. So if I wanted to show an image of sports, and why would I choose the one where he slapped? Because that's not, like a picture of him slapping them on the ass.
So you think that's the one
it's the images
that people are blowing out of proportion. Yeah. So Odell Beckham has been under fire for a lot of this as well, dancing with his homeboys around, and a lot of people are saying this is not he's not masculine, and he's putting that out there. So do you think that again, is this something that the media is doing, or is this something that people are changing? Their view on this is changing, and it could be just in America. This is the way that the black man is viewed. The black man is viewed as the real black man is a solid, hard, thug type criminal, and if we don't portray that image to our kids, for all intents and purposes, he's soft.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, my question would be, how do you raise a son in this society? Because I don't want my child followed by the police. You know what I'm saying? But do I want him to be portrayed as soft from an entire community of people, when the rest of the world, the white people aren't looking at us like this? It's us looking back at our community, and we're the ones that have the issue.
Yeah, because I wonder, let white, female or male, look at this photo. What would be their initial thought?
That's interesting,
Like, because I think, like, we do a lot of times, we do this to each other. Like, we put our own selves in this box. Like, look, no, that's not masculine. This picture, that's not masculine. But with somebody from another race, like, they look at it, and what's their initial thought? Would they think like me? Would they think that, like, this is brotherly love?
Yeah, I would guess that I could only assume. I would think that they wouldn't, but why should they? Like, me being a black man, raising a young black boy, you know what I mean? I think it's important. I would say, instead of looking at what I don't like, what I would say is we need better representation of the black man in the media.
Why don't you think that? Who don't you think is a good representation of a black man in the media?
I wouldn't go that far as to just say that, but
nah, bro,
like that image, that image there, that image there, I don't,
Do you think Odell Beckham
approve. No, I do not.
Why?
Because you know what I mean. This new, a lot of people say that this new era of the guys that just be flamboyant. The way they dance, the way they move. That's the thing.
Flamboyant.
I don't think
it's at anybody's discretion.
Yeah. I don't think there's nothing wrong with Odell Beckham. There's nothing wrong, even if he was a homosexual, even if Michael B. Jordan was I don't think anything was wrong.
Yeah, I think that's all the consistency. We don't have a problem with homosexuals. It's just that we label them, and we don't think that should be defined as masculinity, especially for black men. So that seems like that's what the problem is. Like, we don't want that to represent black masculinity.
Right. Have we been a listener saying maybe we've been brainwashed into thinking that black men touching black men is gay, period.
See,
and that's why we don't want it.
There's a lot of people answering off emotion. So you're going to get the backlash.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely.
Absolutely.
The
and everybody thinks about it differently,
Yeah, I'm the last person to think that, showing affection to your brother is a wrong thing. No, I'm saying pay attention. Take emotion out of the equation and look at the situation at hand in America and Black Hollywood. You know how they got all the comedians, they make them put on dresses, look at the commercials. They make all the sports players put on wigs. I don't like that at all. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, to be conscious and black in America, is to constantly be angry.
No, you're right.
Because I think James Baldwin said that. So I don't want to get too deep here. It's just that I pay attention to the images that they send out in the media of the black man. And I just, Michael B. Jordan, and Coogler, that's how you pronounce his name, right? 29 years old. When I seen, that they worked on Creed together and they created the new Rocky, I was, ecstatic about that. I love the new Creed movie. It's like my new theme movie. And then when I seen that picture, I'm just like, oh, you know what I mean? Here they go again. Like, why did they have to shoot that shot? You know what I mean? They could have been fist bumping. He could have had his arm over him. They could have been close. It's just that holding his head. Like, I just don't like the shot. You know what I mean?
understand your perspective. We got to take a quick break. We're going to keep this conversation going. If you can't, well, you are tweeting us at the ShakeUp AM, or the lines are open 1-844-99-SHAKE.
1-844-997-4253 at the ShakeUp AM on Instagram and Twitter. Use the hashtag Black Masculinity.
You're listening to The Shake Up, your number one mobile morning show.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
It's yours truly, MJ.
And Alex the Great.
And we've got your chance to win Beyonce tickets.
Listen to the Shake Up each weekday morning at 7:03 and 8:03 Eastern to catch your words up to date.
It's a different word each hour, but you need to know both to win.
Listen every day because at 8:03 we'll be looking for caller number 12.
If you got the word we're looking for and you're caller number 12, that's a $50 gas card, and you're entered to win one pair of tickets to see Beyonce in one of 4 cities.
A Beyonce ticket winner will be selected each week. All of the details are at the ShakeUpAM.com.
So get information and get shook.
Ow.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
The hashtag.
Do you have troubled skin, acne? With Proactive, you can heal your acne and help prevent new breakouts. Right now, in this radio area, we're looking for just 50 people with moderate acne to demonstrate exactly how fast Proactive works. The first 50 callers who qualify can try Proactive risk-free for 60 days.
Call 800-388-7152, 800-388-7152, 800-388-7152.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
My station.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's up?
Come on!
When you think hip-hop,
What up, what up?
one radio station comes to mind.
Please, there's no equal. You know?
The hip-hop station.
BossFM.
The commercial break is complete. Now back to more digital hip-hop on the hashtag. This is Boss FM.
You're listening to The Shake Up, your number one mobile morning show.
Boss FM, Alex the Great.
Yours truly, MJ.
And we got a special guest in the building.
Lee.
Hey, what's going on?
Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your comment?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was listening to your show, and this is a really powerful topic. And it's topics like this that me and my homeboys, we talk about a lot. But it's a lot to unpack when you start talking about masculinity, especially in the black community. We if you want to take it far back, we can go, and I hate to keep talking about slavery all the time, but it's very, very, very significant to what masculinity is seen as today. you look at the things that black men and women had gone through for hundreds of years during the period of slavery in this country, and even Jim Crow, besides the brutality and everything, not allowing men to feel like men, being 3/5 of a vote, not even being considered a human being, being treated in animalistic ways, rape, abuse. You go forward and then you say slavery's over. You let a race of people integrate into society without really providing them a way to actually integrate into society successfully. And then the things that make men a lot of the times feel like men, that duty, that work ethic, being able to provide or being able to protect, for so long that was stripped away from people. That was stripped away from the men, the black men, where they felt like they couldn't necessarily provide for their family in the way they wanted to. They couldn't necessarily protect their women or their children in the way that they wanted to. Strip jobs away. You don't allow them to work. So they cling to the things that they feel like you're not going to strip away from it. You're not going to strip. And then masculinity turns into this hyper masculinity. Like, I have to be a certain way. Like, I've got to be this strong. I got to be this tough. Or I'm not a man. And not only does that leak over into this conversation we're having right now, which you could see a picture of somebody, because we've been conditioned to think men shouldn't address other men this way, even if it's their brother, if it's their cousin, it's a friend that, sometimes blood don't make you the closest.
True.
You could be, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan could be extremely close and they're not blood related. But it's this idea that this hyper-masculinity says strength and this aggressiveness and this certain disposition above everything. Don't express your emotions. Don't express how you feel. It even crosses over into mental illness, which plagues the black community a lot because, oh, no, nothing's wrong with me. I'm strong. I'm a man. I can handle this.
So do you think that black men, when they feel like they're less strong or they're someone's treated them like less of a man, do you think that's an attack on their masculinity?
I think when someone treats them as less than a man, how do they express? This is the problem. How do we express, or how do we resolve that feeling? Like, we don't. Where's the outlet for us to say, "Damn"? They won't. I got this thing on my record. I got this XYZ on my record because I'm a nonviolent drug offender or whatever this is. So now I can't go get a job. So now I can't provide. So now we're not taught that it's okay to express ourselves and express our feelings. And so it's just, all of it is just balled inside. And now we don't even realize that it's 40 million black people in the country. All of those 40 million black people aren't, if we even go into heterosexuality, because that's what people seem to wrap into this masculinity conversation, whether you're gay or straight, everybody's not like everybody else in the black community. All of us are different.
That's true.
But this hyper masculinity thing, man, is just. I heard somebody on your show this morning say when we turn on the TV, we look at these shows like Empire and some of these other shows that have gay characters on it. But you got to look at it. I mean, I can turn on to hundreds of channels, and all of the characters on all of the shows are straight. That's not an accurate representation of the black community. You know what I'm saying? So this idea that if your disposition isn't the way that some black men feel like it should be to be considered masculine, just because you're a man, if you are male, you can exhibit forms of masculinity, period. No,
I definitely see that. I appreciate your comment, and I think from an affection standpoint, I think that if you weren't given a lot of affection, or even
right.
if you were, we've always been taught to channel your affection in certain ways and cut it off in certain other areas. So it shouldn't bleed over.
As men, that's what y'all are taught.
I mean,
I can only give a
and I think that it's just you don't want to. We are not taught.
When little boys cry, when little boys cry, Malik, when your son cries, have you ever told him stop crying? Be a man.
Thanks for
boys
calling,
don't cry.
man.
Thanks, Fitz.
I'll be lying if I say no.
Have you ever thought about that? Like, you just do it just subconsciously. You just do it like it's natural.
Yeah, it's natural, but it's not like I tell him to be masculine.
Yeah, I know not that, but you tell him, what do you say?
Tough, be tough. I would tell my daughter, be tough. It's okay. You're a big girl. You know what I mean? So I don't think it got nothing to do with being masculine. But I do feel your point. I do understand your point, though. You know.
Well, and I think part of what's starting to happen is things are taught in different ways, you know, and so we're now seeing things, and I think there's a lot of frustration because a lot of the ways that we're being portrayed on TV, that's not the way that things are. But at the same time, people don't buy into it.
Sometimes they're the way that things are. Sometimes they're not.
I agree, and I think sometimes we as a people think that they won't buy into it unless it's the extreme of what we are. So, I mean, if you look at Empire, I think that there's so many and I hate to use Empire
that because it's one of like a hit show, like because it's what's hot right now, and it sounds like you're saying like Empire is a show that's booming right now. So since we have a show like that we have a lot of black viewers, and it's getting all this, we shouldn't be pushing this gay agenda. Or we should have more black masculine men instead of like homosexual men.
So you look at what's his name on Empire?
Andre. I mean not Andre.
Jamal.
One of them, hell,
yeah, one of them, right? Is he masculine? Is that a portrayal of black masculinity? I mean, I don't think
That's a good question.
He's not
flamboyant. You don't see him wearing females' clothes. You don't see him with his nails done. But I mean, there would be no problem with him if he did. But is he masculine? Do you think he's masculine?
You know,
like you.
I think he's masculine. He's not like, like I said, super flamboyant. I have no problem. Y'all hanging on to my comment to Empire only.
No. And that's why I wanted hip-hop. To get away from Empire because I get it. Yeah. It's not about Empire. It's really not.
Yeah, it's just.
But it's about.
You see Russell Westbrook walking into the NBA arenas with tights and leggings on. You know how many people want to be like Westbrook. So it's just like. That image.
And so what's the problem with that?
No, and I was gonna go to Russell, Cam.
Okay, but you're saying like you don't want like little black boys to have that image of a black man.
No, not at all.
Because you don't think that's masculine.
It's not masculine for a man to wear leggings. Let's just be real. Now, if he wears leggings, that's fine. I don't care. Don't put it on TV.
So they
that's all I'm saying.
And I get where you're coming from. I think that people like Cam Newton and Russell Westbrook and Odell Beckham and Young Thug, these people, to them, that's just, they feel like they're expressing themselves and expressing their freedom. And to them, I don't know if I'm not sitting here talking to them, but I would make the assumption that they believe that that's their form of masculinity.
Yeah, so you think that they are defining us or defining y'all as black men?
They can send the wrong message.
Why is it the wrong message, though?
Because that's not what a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to be tailored.
What do you mean, though?
A man dresses...
Supposed to? Where did you...
Do you understand that they are women clothing? That's women's clothing, right? Right or wrong?
Wait a minute.
Like, have you seen?
Have you thought about like
Westbrook's?
Things have changed over time.
So you're saying that's
trends,
not women?
Trends change over time.
That's not women clothing.
You don't think that this is a trend that has changed? Like the sweatpants that are tighter on the end.
I'm fine with that. But leggings. My point is, I'm speaking of women's clothes, dresses. What about skirts?
When you were younger,
skirts.
When you were younger, men that were older than you, they weren't okay with that. They wore like the looser sweatpants. You that's the trend, and you're okay with that trend.
What trend are you speaking of?
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe it's changed over time. You're saying like no, that's not okay.
From men's clothing to women's clothing.
What if that's men's clothing though?
Leggings. Then maybe I got the game.
So I mean, if someone told you
I'm just trying
this
to
is
be-
this
I'm
is
just
what
trying to play
no,
devil's
I'm gonna
just
take
playing
it.
devil's advocate.
No,
I
I
feel
get
you.
you. And what I want to do is take it back. Like, let's take it back to that's not what men were doing in the 20th century, the 1900s. But if we take it back
It changes
to
all
the
the time.
if we take it back to the 1600s, 1700s, men wore tights. That's what they wore. So if that were to come back, and that may be what these men are trying to do, would you adopt that as the new form of masculinity? I guess I'm asking you gonna walk around in some tights?
You already know my answer to that. I'm gonna say this.
That's because you never seen it as you've always seen it as
No.
female clothes. But what if back in the day,
Listen.
just like when things come back, shoes come back, clothes come back, yo-yos come back and shit. Don't nobody play with yo-yos no more.
All right, you right. So if women clothing come in, I'm good. I'm good on that. You know what I mean? and I stand firm when I say that black masculinity is important in the black communities. You know what I mean? Like me raising the youth is very important to me. I'm a mentor. I have a son. I grip up the younger ones in my family, and I all try to show them a better way. So it's hard to do that when I turn around and the biggest celebrities are sending, images that can be taken the wrong way. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't have they say I'm contradicting myself. I don't have a problem with someone's sexuality. I have a problem with the images. You could be, married in a gay marriage, but on TV you're standing there, you have a tailored suit, you don't have leggings and a skirt on. You know what I mean? I just pay attention to the images that you send to the children. So when I go and scoop up, a 11-year-old and he's trying to paint his nails or he's trying to put on leggings, I could just at least give him a different perspective on what a man, is supposed to do. But you could definitely, express yourself however you would like. But at least you've seen the example of a man. It's hard to find that in the black community nowadays.
So, Jaden Smith, his father is. What do you? Okay. What about that example?
I'm upset with Will, man.
Why?
I'm upset with Will. He said it himself. Will Smith said no. He was upset when he first seen it, but then he talked to him. He got down to the bottom of it. I think it was for money. I think Jaden did it for money, man. I mean, he's definitely more open and more. I would say he expresses himself. He don't care about what nobody think. But that ad, you're a young black boy. I don't know if you know about the younger generation, but they look up to Jaden Smith.
That's what I was just about to ask. So you don't think the younger generation
they
of
him $10 million?
Should be looking up to him?
Here's my thing. They paid him $10 million for that. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So
you feel like he's paid to change what that image
send
is.
the message down. You know what I mean? What'd he say?
So
he didn't even say I like this. This is what I like. He said I got paid $10 million for it. Y'all can talk about me however much y'all want to talk. See, he took his little piece of change and he kept it moving. But that image been sent down.
So you think that's the wrong image for little boys to look up to? To wear
female clothing. Yep. And I'm gonna stand by that. I'm gonna teach my son. I'm gonna tell my son we don't wear female clothing.
There's a group. There's a group that's actually coming to change the definitions of male clothing, female clothing, and just call it clothing, so that people don't feel a certain way because they want. Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. Yeah, so that people don't feel a certain way, like they have to wear a certain thing because there are no more labels. We put those labels there. So
we put those labels on it. So if nobody told you that a skirt was for females, like if nobody told you that, if everything was just clothes.
Y'all really good try to flip. All right. So look, this is how I look at it.
No, I'm just putting it out there, man.
I look at it like, to be feminine, to be a woman, you want to show off your body. You put makeup on. You want to show them that you're pretty, you're beautiful. So you got a voluptuous body. So you would wear less clothing to show off skin. So why would a man why is he trying to show off his skin with less clothing? I don't think that's masculine. I think
so you feel like you don't need to see the small of a man's back.
Yeah,
you good on that?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean. Like, I'm not saying that you can't dress the way you want to dress, but why would you wear a skirt as a man? If that's where this trend is headed, I guess I'm gonna be the oddball. You know, still dressing, covering up, and wearing, you know, a nice tailored suit, tuck my shirt in. You know,
nah, man. I got it. We got more of this conversation coming up. Lots of tweets, lots of comments, lots of calls.
These comments, they're coming in quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read some of them when we come back.
Just way too quick. 1-844-99-SHAKE.
1-844-997-4253 at the ShakeUp AM on Instagram and Twitter.
For me to judge.
Keep it locked right here, Boss FM.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the hashtag hip hop and R&B online at boss.fm.
Hey, it's Alex the Great from the Shake Up, and we want your Shake Up letters. I know you hear these hot messes that come in every day, but we want to hear your story. Visit boss.fm/the Shake Up. Click the show and submit your Shake Up letter. We'll read it live, keep you anonymous, and get all up in your business.
Drug, alcohol, and gambling addiction can be devastating for you and your loved ones. Don't let the disease of addiction ruin everything you have worked so hard for. If you or a loved one is suffering from a drug, alcohol, or gambling addiction, call now and get a free confidential consultation. Help is only a phone call away. Call 1-877-867-3063. That's 1-877-867-3063.
My station.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's up? Come on!
You think hip-hop.
What up?
One radio station comes to mind.
Please, there's no equal. You know that.
Hip-hop station.
Boss FM.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
It's time to pay attention. The commercials are over. Now, back to more trending hip-hop on Boss FM. This is the sound of digital hip-hop and R&B. WHTG, IHTG, and IHTG HD1. We are what's trending, and this is Boss FM, the hashtag. Your digital connection to entertainment and the new home of the Shake Up Morning Show. Streaming online at boss.fm/the hashtag. And on your mobile device inside of the Boss FM app. It is the Shake Up, Alex the Great.
Yours truly, MJ.
And the topic, Black Masculinity. MJ, you got some comments from Twitter.
Yeah, I got some comments. These people mad at me.
I mean, yeah.
Some people agree, some people don't.
I am sorry, y'all.
That's
I'm
what
trying
it's
to
about. We don't agree in life. That's cool. Okay, so somebody said, like, what is a man, quote unquote, supposed to be? Because, you know, you kept saying, like, I'm going to show my man, like, my son, how you're supposed to dress, like what a man is supposed to do. So that's a good question. That poses a good question. What is a man supposed to be? And he also said that's the problem. We tell young black men to freely express themselves, but only within the lines of black masculinity.
My comment on that would be, it just seems like a lot of people, I say it again, they answering off of emotion. They thinking I'm saying that there's something wrong with them.
Some people think that you're like pushing a personal agenda.
Yeah, like that's not what I'm saying. People, if you take time to listen to exactly what I'm saying, I'm just saying the images that you send down are important. Let's send down masculine images of black men. You know what I mean? If people keep thinking that, you know, I think it could go 50-50. Some people can say that the picture of Ryan and Michael was okay, and some people could say it's not. What I'm saying is just make sure we send down positive images of black masculinity. That's all I'm saying. So I lean towards the side
of black masculinity.
How do we do that?
Viewer's discretion. That's the thing, because on this hand, a lot of people think this is a positive message. That's what I think. I'm saying some people are thinking that, you know, this is black love between two people. They're not blood brothers, but, you know, they got love for each other. They share some art together.
Even when you say something like this,
I'm not a black man, so I can only give so much of a perspective.
No,
I don't know what y'all feeling and stuff.
What I'm saying is, when you say that this is black love, are you I'm saying this may be what black brotherly love, but are you? Someone would take that instantly. Yeah, you said this is black love, so
brotherly love.
That's gay. You know what I'm saying?
Brotherly love.
I got what you were saying.
Even if it is black love, that's fine too. But some people may look at it as black brotherly love, and
that's what I said. It could be split down the middle. Some people going, you know, not everyone is going to agree on it. You're not going to have the same view. So I can bring 10 men inside of here, and they're going to agree with me. Because I've read comments too, so I've seen both sides. I think it's split 50-50.
Right.
Except for the women. I think more women probably, you know, crucifying me right now. And I understand that. That's because they're answering off of, I think they're viewing it like, what's wrong? Why is he, you know, is he a homophobe? Why is he trying to be so mad? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they, like, I think somebody in the comments said they probably shot 100 shots. And that's the one that they chose. It's like, it was other shots that was, you know what I mean, a little more neutral than that, you know.
Okay. Well, also another comment says, you can't wear a skirt because someone told you can't, and that's what you believe. You can't hug a man because someone told you can't. So you see something wrong with it because someone told you it was. But if you ask what's wrong with wearing a skirt, you think something's wrong wearing a skirt? Your response was,
it's female clothing.
Okay.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong.
So since it's
with hugging
for male,
so do you think
it's strictly for male? It should not be.
I hate when you say for male.
I say that. I don't know.
So you think it's sagging masculine?
Sagging?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Is smacking your teammate's ass? Is that masculine in sports?
No, like there is no rule book on what's gay and what's not.
What define masculinity? Your definition. I want to hear your definition.
Okay, masculinity is basically,
or what is the masculine to you?
My definition of when I think of masculinity, I think of a strong, you know, cornerstone of the species. When it comes to women, women are more feminine. Men are masculine, but that doesn't mean that a man can't show affection. Mm-hmm. That's masculine when a man can show affection. So,
are the words masculine and manly mutually exclusive?
No, it's not mutually exclusive.
Okay,
there is. It's a. You know, I think that it's a problem when you're over masculine. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's suspect a little bit when people are just too masculine. That means what are you insecure about? You know what I mean? Masculinity is being secure with yourself. I understand that. So it's just that when we get to the topic of trying to justify women's clothing for men, I think that's just, you know, I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? And I think it's hard I'm sitting up here trying to defend black masculinity, you know what I mean? It's
like, no. like you are the spokesperson today.
We're like walking
the courtroom is open and you are the judge.
It's real though because that's how it really is out here. We're holding on to what's left of the black man. You know what I mean? People are now saying it's okay to wear skirts. They're referring to the 1900s when they used to wear leggings. I'm just like, wow, that's where we at right now. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Me standing up saying that, you know, sending that image out or all these other images of our most prominent sports players, you know, with wigs and all of our comedians, they got to dress up like women. You know what I mean? And like Dave Chappelle said, he said, I'm not with the agenda. I'm getting out of here.
So
I'm not putting on women's clothing.
That's the personal agenda of comedians dressing up as women?
I think it's a real thing. You know what I mean? I think it's a real thing, and so did Dave Chappelle.
What do you mean by that? You think it's a real thing?
It's to the point where it's, you know, an actual topic. That's exactly why Dave Chappelle said that I'm not. He said I'm not putting on the skirt. They want to pay me to push these images or basically sell my soul, and you know, in Hollywood, and he declined and he left the country.
Because you know, I don't know who. Everybody talks about they, DJ Kyle. Who the hell is they? Who is they? Like, you saying they push these agendas. So you think that they have a personal agenda to get black men or these comedians who dress as women. You think that they're trying to push this agenda so they can portray that image?
They is Hollywood and whoever else controls the media.
Mm-hmm.
We all know who that is. But, you know, the black community, as far as in Hollywood, black Hollywood, they're known for sometimes just being, you know, given the opportunity to sell out the images that they put out into, you know, the world. So Dave Chappelle was one who stood up and said, "I'm not selling out."
So what did Dave Chappelle? I remember he stood up and said,
$50 million so he won't have to put on a dress. It was that simple.
So you think that Dave Chappelle standing up and basically saying, "I'm not doing that," and all of them that have, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy.
Look how many people look up to Martin Lawrence, and then when he put on a dress, like, you know what I mean? It's just
wait,
like,
what? Hold up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to get.
Mine.
So Dave Chappelle.
He called Martin Lawrence out.
He did.
And he said, what?
And Eddie Murphy.
What was wrong after he put up? What happened?
You just saying, like, man,
where you been, MJ? Where you been?
It's a lot of funny business that goes on in Hollywood, man. You know what I mean?
So after he did the role as Big Mama, then what? What happened?
I'm just saying, like, he was just saying that they went to Dave Chappelle to do, you know, a movie that's similar, probably put on a dress or play a woman, you know, and he just declined it. I think he was offered $50 million or something like that. He declined. He said, "I don't want to do that. That's, you know, I don't want to dress like a woman."
Well, yeah, I mean, he called that out, and he asked back in December, why are black men in Hollywood asked to put on a dress? He went on to say that he feels that it's ridiculous for black men to be considered well-rounded in their comedy, that they have to put on dresses to portray people. Now, I didn't really respond to what Dave said. When it goes back to the original, like, when we think about when acting came on the scene as we know it, the Shakespearean era, and I'm not trying to take it back there because we're not there. It's 2016. But back then, women couldn't act. So back then, men did all of the acting. Men were the women when they were trying to portray it. Men, makeup, wigs, all of that came out of acting. That's where it came from. So these things were absorbed by female culture, but I understand the viewpoint of, if we have females that are able to play themselves today, why can't they just do that? Why is it funnier? I mean, I'm not going to bring up our conversation from yesterday, but why is it funnier for Martin Lawrence to be Big Mama and Eddie Murphy to be Rasputia? But I'm just saying, Rasputia really exists. Okay, that's not Eddie Murphy played Rasputia, but did he deny his masculinity by doing that? Dave Chappelle would say yes.
All right. So if we got Martin Lawrence, he wrote that script. Like, that's what he wanted to do. He had the idea to dress up like a woman. I would be cool with it. Like, that's his talent. That's what he wanted to do. It was his idea. But when they came to date, that wasn't his idea. You know what I mean? It was like, that's not what I came up with. Y'all telling me to do this. Y'all telling me to play this role. I don't want to play that role.
And I think it's interesting that Dave responded like that, because when it comes to, and he called them out, not considering that Eddie Murphy wrote Norbit. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Murphy and Eddie Murphy wrote The Nutty Professor. You know what I'm saying? So they stood behind well, he wasn't a woman in that, but you get my point.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, he was a woman. He was his mama and her grandma. Yeah, he was all them people. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't take away, and I think that there's a limited viewpoint when people think that it does. Now, I mean, I do think naturally you question these things,
because the whole point of a man playing a woman is funny. Not that it should be looked at as him being less masculine or less manly, but it's funny. Is it
funny the same way that men want to become women? Is that the same? Does the same level of comedy exist there?
I don't know.
Like I said, when you're conscious, man, you pay attention to, intentions of Hollywood and what they're doing to almost all black men. You know what I mean? And
but what about the stuff that we do to ourselves? Like, I look at Tyler Perry. Nobody made him be Madea.
But he's smart, and he knows what sells. You know what I mean? He knows how to navigate throughout Hollywood. It's a business, so he knows what they want. So he basically conformed to, exactly what they're trying to sell. So I think that in a way, he kind of sold out. You know what I mean? Keep dressing up and he got rich off of the negative stereotypes of the black community, especially the black woman. So, you know what I mean? To each his own. I wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? Maybe a few movies, but then come out. He did come out with, some of the movies he has, Why Did I Get Married? And, you know what I mean? I understand that, but
some people's negative stereotypes of the black community are just our culture. Like, right, but us getting our ass beat with the drop cord, that's our culture.
But that's not the only representation of our culture. And we don't have enough of that.
That's our culture. But who's to say that our culture is wrong?
But
that's
don't we
problem.
Have enough of that?
I feel like they think they look at us like that's wrong. They shouldn't do this. That's our culture. They're saying it's wrong.
Yeah, but too much.
It's wrong because they say it's wrong.
Too much negativity in the black community is making too much money right now. It's
selling.
So let's switch the topic. Let's put the wholesome black.
I understand what you're saying about like negativity. Of course, no, you don't want to push that.
No, but
but it's the difference between pushing negativity in Hollywood and showing it. Some people do it to bring light to the situation.
All right, but if you look at the majority of Tyler Perry movies, it's, you know what I mean, Madea going to jail, you know what I mean, she crazy. You know what I mean, he's conscious. He knows. It's not like he doesn't know. He just knows what sells. He knows what makes money. He knows when he write those scripts which one is going to get picked up and which one is not. So, you know what I mean. That's my take on it.
Ramon says, I think people often conflate gender expression with sex and sexuality as it pertains to black masculinity. Y'all getting deep.
Look, I was like,
my brain been going since 6 a.m. Man, I understand what you're saying, Ramon. I think that there is so many other topics come out of this because it's associated with so many things. Yeah. So you say masculinity and people start talking. They associate it with the word manly. They associate it with macho. They associate because as you said not too long ago, masculine has for so long been associated with male and feminine associated with female. Who is behind the blending? And I want to ask this question because I thought about it before we started this. Is there a difference between black masculinity, and white masculinity? Because the things that we hold true
I can't answer
to
that
us as a
like
culture,
female.
you can answer as a black female.
As the black, I mean,
because my thing is, if you saw two
I
white
know
boys,
a little something about y'all.
if you saw,
definitely don't know.
well, I'm just saying, if you saw Zac Efron and who's another white actor, Ben Affleck, hugged up on the beach like Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, would your assumption automatically go to they shouldn't be doing that? Because I feel like we see their images like that all the time, and this is I'm not playing the race card, but it's dismissed because they're white.
Do you? Lee? Do you just miss it and just?
I never thought of it like that. You know, I'm like I said, I'm passionate about my people.
I'm passionate about my people too. That's why I'm just asking if there's a difference, because I think that if there's somebody that is coming and intentionally trying to change the image of the black man, is it us as black people doing it? Is there someone else behind it? I mean, listen, this could turn into a conspiracy theory, but when I look at them or another culture, I don't think that our black masculinity, I don't think when we say black masculinity, we don't associate the same way. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. I'll answer my own question. It's not the same thing.
Do y'all think that the black man is under attack in this country?
The black man or black masculinity?
The black man.
Yes.
Y'all think he's under attack?
Yeah, I do.
So you
I think the black man has been under attack.
You think they wouldn't try to hit us psychologically, like their sense of masculinity? That's how you can take his confidence from him, and then he ends up on the streets, trying to be a man that he never even knew what it's like to become a man. So then he over masculine and over aggressive, and he ends up hurting somebody, killing somebody, thinking that's being a man. You know how many convicts in jail can tell you, I had to do what I had to do to be a man, to put food on the table. So he went out and he robbed and he stole and he killed. And you don't think that if we're under attack, we have to be under attack by somebody. You don't think that they sit back and say, checkmate, we got them. Like we have them psychologically. They hit us in all types of forms. This country spends billions of dollars to keep the black man down, and it ultimately breaks the black family up, because then you got the woman trying to become masculine. She's trying to provide. She's trying to take care of the home, when that's really not how it's supposed to be. Hats off to the strong black women, but they end up doing everything that a man can do, and sometimes better, when they really supposed to be doing everything a man can't do. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got some of the most successful black women that have a hard time finding a good man. You know what I mean? And it's people that's just sitting back saying, we got them, we hit them, we took their confidence from them. You know what I mean? And that's why I pay so much. I didn't come up here to defend gay or straight men. No, I came up here to, promote how important black masculinity is, how important it is for you to turn on the TV, see one of your heroes, and see them standing as a man. He could be a homosexual, but he's standing masculine. He's standing up. He's saying, I'm a man. He's giving out images of black love and not like intimate, images. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a thin line that you walk, and I'm playing with it, so I know that line. I know that I got a lot of backlash for it, but I know it's a lot of black men that's out there, and they feel me because it's real. You go outside and you walk down the street and you see 8-year-old little kids, and you ask them like, damn, like where's your father? You have, and you find out that they don't have one. That's why I'm starting a mentorship program for specifically black young boys who don't have a male father figure in their life. You know what I mean? If you have one, then I would probably want to coach up your father. I would sit down with him and tell him that he needs you, more in your life. But
I got you.
I want the ones who don't even have no chance, and it was once me before.
And we need more of that. We definitely need more of that. We're still taking calls and comments, lots of thoughts. And we'll come back and read some more of your comments. Check in with us, 1-844-99-SHAKE.
1-844-997-4253.
You're listening to The Shake Up, your #1 mobile morning show.
I say that I'ma ride for my most likely I'ma die for my I've been grinding outside all day with my and I ain't going in unless I'm with my hitters, 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 yeah. First thing first, I love all my hitters. This rap track and I involve my hitter. You looking for some lane, let me call my hitter. He sellin' for the high, I need all my niggas. Some you smoke some, you drink. Guys on the block, what they like they don't think. That's a new back up, they in a bucket laptop. I got to act right if you niggas wanna act up. He talking like a snitch, no, they ain't my hitter. He tripping off a no, they ain't my hitter. Taking case, yeah, that's mine hit. Knowing since I was 8, yeah, that's mine hit. My first pass through the mine hit. Hit my first leg pass with mine hit. My hit. The mother hitters, cause I'm down for my hits. I ride for my hits. I said that I'ma ride for my hitter. Most likely I'ma die for my hitter. I've been grinding outside all day with my hitter. And I ain't going in unless I'm with my hitters. My hitter, my hitter. My hitters, my hitters, my hitters, rich homie, my hitters, my hitters. It's the just know I'm down with them, down for me. I got 2 words for your love and loyalty. It was me and my nigga tripping on a half a beat. Then we used to hit a wall and buy everything we see. Me and my down there getting twisted. Get the trippy, knock the gravy out your biscuit. Just know I put you the long way, my nigga. So when I see you out, I'm like, hey. Bring that act right and get straight with my me and my nigga riding dirty, trying to chase them figures. Who got it, yo? Don't matter. I'ma ride for my. What's up? Most likely I'ma die for my. Finger on the trigger. I've been grinding outside all day with my. And I ain't going in unless I'm with my hitters, my hitters, my hitters. My hitters, my hitters. My hitters, my hitters. Rich homie, my hitters. My hitters, my hitters. My homie got weight. My homie running me, he the reason I'm straight. My homie got a house, my homie got a lake. My homie we eat, my homie get a plate. And I'm still hitting this, my hitter, running off a nigga shit. My hitter, I take a my hitter, here talking shit, then he ain't my hitter. My hitter, watch him, my hitter, and I ain't going in and trying to leave my hitters. Shout to see me and want to leave with them, but it wasn't enough room cause I came with my hitters. That right too. My hitter, I need a set of wings cause I'm too fly nigga. And I'm all about my business like a suit and tie with you. I ride for my hitters, believe I'ma ride for my hitter. Most likely I'ma die for my hitter. I've been grinding outside all day with my hitter. And I ain't going in unless I'm with my hitters.
You're listening to The Shake Up, streaming live in the Shake Up mobile app and online at www.theshakeupam.com.
YG, my hitter, it is The Shake Up. Alex the Great in the building.
Truly, MJ.
Hello, MJ.
All right, so we wrapping up this conversation before we go all day.
Yeah. Before we go all day, you know, this is how it goes down here. We have to have the conversation. If we don't talk about it, nobody else will. Things are happening before our eyes, and I mean, from some perspectives, we're under attack, and nobody's saying anything about it. No, who cursed? Who cares? No, and it's really important that we have this conversation. As soon as I didn't even post it, I intentionally did not post it too early because I didn't want people hassling me, you know, before. So even as soon as I posted it last night, I got a text like around 11 o'clock like, bruh, I've been saying we under attack, bruh. I've been trying to tell you we under attack, bruh.
You know
exactly.
The conspiracy theorists, and some stuff I believe.
Sometimes it's not a conspiracy, though.
Sometimes it just is what it is.
It is what it is. We are, for all intents and purposes, we are under attack. It's
Black
different.
People are under attack.
Agreed.
You want to be clear.
Agreed. I think that's clear.
A lot of different opinions. All in all, my conclusion, again, this picture, my automatic thought sparked, love. It's all love, bruh. What's up, bro? We about to take this picture. It's love, bruh. Nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing I do know, too, and, Leak, you being from Philly, different parts across this country, they show love in different ways. Black men in the black community, like down south they may do a different thing, up north they may do a different thing, on the west coast they may do a different thing. You ever thought about that?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I don't agree with it.
It is what it is, right?
Right.
I'm just saying it may be different.
No,
maybe
but your viewpoint of how it is based upon where you are, of what you experienced, how you understand it. And someone showed me images about people in Africa, and they're like, look, man, they don't wear clothes, they hold hands, they kiss each other on the lips. I'm like, well, that's not our culture. That's not us.
I was about to say that's a different culture.
Right,
because
that's not us.
Of course, in this culture, it's frowned upon.
No, I'm saying you saw it. I'm pretty sure. First of all, I don't know where your mouth has been. And I don't want my 5-year-old kissing no other 5-year-old because I don't know where his mouth has been. In Africa, I really don't know how they do that. But they do. You know what I'm saying?
His mouth could have been kissing his mama. His mama mouth could have been kissing some other man.
Her mouth could have been on something else.
Exactly.
Most likely. That's how he got here. So, I mean... This conversation is needed, man. I appreciate you coming through and definitely sharing your viewpoint.
Definitely, thank you.
I think that it's a conversation in many forms because there's so many pieces of this conversation. It's not.
Y'all understand? He came and gave a perspective that a lot of black men think exactly like him.
Well, and a lot of you,
like I said, so of course he got like a lot of backlash. It wasn't just like this side or this side. It came from a lot of different points, a lot of different views.
Well, and it's open in here, so we will take any. If you have an opinion, you have a viewpoint, somebody has to give a voice to it, and there's no way that we're going to sit on this platform and not use it for what it's worth. If this conversation needs to be had in our community and we need to understand what's happening, we don't understand what's happening because some of these black men don't really have an identity. They don't even understand masculinity because they've never been exposed to it. They haven't been around it. So if you as a black man aren't and that's why I said I commend you for starting a mentorship program. If you are not giving back to your community and putting these efforts back into people, you need to shut your damn mouth. No, that's how I feel. Like
I agree.
That's how I feel. Like you cannot be as vocal about it. Well, we can judge you because you don't do for us. Right. That's all I got.
Thank you, Leek, for joining us.
No problem.
We appreciate it. Thank you for giving your perspective.
Absolutely.
The black man.
Right.
More of the shake-up when we come back. We're going to wrap up trending news. Maybe y'all might have 15 minutes to call and win a $50 gas card. Maybe.
Maybe.
But the box office is open now.
You'll win it tomorrow. No, okay. We'll open it. All right. So we're going to open the box office. Of course, get your last minute requests in. It's Friday. The weekend shake-up happens tomorrow. We'll fill you in on how that works if you don't listen. This show will air again today from 2 to 6 in the ShakeUp app, on the BossFM app, in the hashtag channel, and of course on the ShakeUpAM.com. All of those details we'll give you in about 15 minutes. Right now, caller number 12, you can win $50 in gas and a chance to see Beyonce. All right? It's really easy. Pick up the phone, call us.
Have the word of the day, or I'm going to hang up on you. 1-844-99-SHAKE. 1-844-997.
The ShakeUp box office is now open. Grab your ShakeUp app and be caller number 12 at 1-844-99-SHAKE. That's 1-844-997-4253.
I'm sipping on you like some fine wine though, and when it's over, I press rewind though. Ay, you talking bands, girl, I got it. Benjamin's all in my pocket. I traded in my trues for some robbers. You playing Batman, Fetty's gonna rob him. Ay, I got a Glock in my Rari. Ay, 17 shots, no 38. I got a Glock in my Rari. 17 shots, no 38.